My pulse hammered a chaotic rhythm. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. That casual smirk stretched across his face. His eyes, the same piercing blue as mine, glinted with superiority. It was a look I'd grown to despise. He perfected it around our family. For months, I held my tongue. His words choked me at every Sunday dinner. I watched his subtle machinations weave a web of distrust around me. He was a master of the whispered lie, the perfectly timed insinuation. His last jab, the most painful, painted me as heartless. I refused to lend him money I knew I'd never see again. He would squander it on another one of his ventures. The air in the upscale DC bistro felt thick. It was heavy with unspoken accusations. Beyond the polished windows, the lights of Georgetown blurred. "Funny," I said, my voice surprisingly steady, "because I seem to remember a certain voice note." He raised an eyebrow. "Oh?" "Time-stamped 2:13 a.m., I continued, asking for discretion about your debts. His smirk wavered. A few tables over, a senator's aide, engrossed in his phone, barely registered our existence. I leaned closer, my gaze locked on his. "And then there's the deleted WhatsApp message," I pressed, "from last night, just before you started that whole charade about my insensitivity. Convenient, isn't it?" He swallowed, his throat bobbing. The easy confidence was cracking. This wasn't just about the money anymore. This was about reputation. It was about the very fabric of our family. Weeks later, the tension had spread. My sister, usually my fiercest ally, started giving me sidelong glances. "He seems genuinely remorseful, you know," she'd said last night. That was after another one of his meticulously staged apologies over Zoom. It included a single, perfectly timed tear. I knew it was an act, but her doubt stung. My brother, ever the pragmatist, was more blunt. "Look, just cut him some slack." He leaned in. "We're family." It felt like I was battling a ghost. An invisible enemy could manipulate everyone but me. The second set piece unfolded at our annual family retreat. We were in the Blue Ridge Mountains. We walked a hiking trail. The autumn leaves were crimson and gold underfoot. He'd orchestrated a spontaneous photo op. He positioned himself protectively next to our aging mother. He whispered something in her ear. She patted his hand. I saw it clearly, the subtle reinforcement of his good son narrative. Later, he pulled me aside. A manufactured solemnity was on his face. "You know, this whole thing is tearing Mom apart," he said. His voice dropped low. "Maybe you should just let it go." He wasn't asking. He was subtly threatening. He was using our mother as a shield. He weaponized her emotions against me. My stomach churned. The cost of exposing him wasn't just my peace of mind. It was potentially splintering our family. I cherished our family above all else. Could I live with that? Could I live with letting him continue? This was the moral decision point. The closure would demand a reckoning. A public and private confrontation would either heal or permanently scar. My decision solidified after another carefully leaked concern. It was about my financial management. It reached our extended family. It was clear he wouldn't stop. The public confrontation happened at our grandmother's 90th birthday party. It was in a grand ballroom in Alexandria. The air, usually festive, held unspoken tension. He was holding court near the cake. He recounted some embellished anecdote about his struggles. I walked over. My heart thumped. "You know," I said, my voice carried just enough for a few nearby relatives to turn. "It's interesting how you always manage to find yourself in these struggles right before you need a bailout." His face, usually so composed, went pale. "What are you talking about?" he stammered. His eyes darted. "I'm talking about the text you sent our cousin," I clarified, falsely implying I'd mismanaged a trust fund just to discredit me. The music seemed to stop. A hush fell over the room. This was it, the point of no return. I knew the fallout would be messy, but I couldn't let him continue to erode trust. I couldn't let him manipulate the people I loved. This confrontation was a precursor to something much larger. It would force him to face the true cost of his deception. It would force me to face the true cost of my principled stand. The private confrontation would be a battle for the narrative within the family. I would need to present irrefutable evidence. I just hoped the institutional trust I sought to uphold wouldn't shatter our family in the process. Update 1. The aftermath was difficult. Our family held an intervention after I presented the evidence. Bank statements, voice recordings, and text message screenshots were undeniable. He admitted to some actions, minimizing others. The family was shocked. My sister cried. My parents felt betrayed. The truth, once hidden, created a deep rift. Update 2. As a result, new family rules were established. All significant family financial decisions would require joint signatures. Loans between family members were formalized with written agreements. Communication now happens through a family group chat monitored by my cousin, who is a lawyer. The trust is slowly rebuilding, but the scars remain. He has started therapy. I hope he genuinely changes. The ballroom fell silent. All eyes, now on us, felt like spotlights. My brother, exposed, sputtered, "That's a ridiculous accusation." But the seed was planted. It was too late for him to backpedal. The next day, I called for a family meeting. I sent out the invitations digitally. My sister, still wavering, agreed. "I just want to understand," she said. Our brother also joined. My parents, though reluctant, eventually logged on. I began without preamble. "I have some things I need to share." My voice was steady. I presented the voice note first. It was a recording of him asking me to keep our loan secret. He didn't want anyone knowing about his private business. The deleted WhatsApp message followed. It was where he confirmed receiving the funds. Then, the clincher, bank statements. They showed the rapid depletion of his supposed investment money. These weren't business expenses, I explained. These were luxury items. This directly contradicted his narrative. Finally, I showed the cousin's text message. It was about the trust fund. This was his attempt to paint me as financially irresponsible, I stated. The evidence was irrefutable. My mother gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. My father, usually stoic, looked utterly defeated. There was no more denying it. The truth, stark and unflinching, hung in the virtual air. The cost was immediate and palpable. My brother, his face a mask of shame and anger, logged off without a word. For weeks, the family was a fractured landscape. My mother grieved. She grieved for the deception. She also grieved for the damage to the family unit she so treasured. My sister, however, finally saw the pattern. "I can't believe I didn't see it sooner," she confessed, her voice thick with regret. She became my unlikely ally. She helped me with the slow process of rebuilding trust. My father, after a period of quiet contemplation, acknowledged the need for boundaries. He didn't condone his son's actions, but he expressed a profound sadness. The real reckoning came with a legal letter. He had indeed borrowed more money from other relatives. He had preyed on their good nature. The discretion he sought in the voice note was not just about my loan. It was about a pattern of predatory borrowing. I chose not to press charges for the loans to me. "I want to move forward," I told my sister. But I supported our relatives. They decided to pursue repayment. This was the cost of my principled stand. I had to accept the legal and emotional turmoil it caused. The family, while not completely shattered, was irrevocably changed. My brother, now estranged, learned the harsh consequences of his actions. It wasn't through my direct retribution, it was through the loss of trust from those he'd manipulated. The institutional trust I sought to uphold, the belief in honesty and accountability within our family, had been restored. But it came at a personal price. Family gatherings were quieter now, less boisterous, but they were also more honest. The air, once thick with unspoken tension, was clear. I carried the weight of the disruption. But I also carried the quiet satisfaction of having stood for something. I had chosen integrity over silence. The catharsis wasn't a triumphant roar, it was a quiet, earned peace. Update 1. 6 months later, the family is still navigating the new dynamic. My brother continues therapy. He sends occasional, brief emails to my parents. They are short and impersonal. My sister and I have grown closer. We meet for coffee every week. We talk about everything. Update 2. The new family financial rules are enforced. My cousin reviews all family loans and larger expenditures. There's a new openness. It's a painful but necessary foundation for rebuilding. It feels like the family found a new path forward. Exposing truth can shatter foundations, yet pave the way for genuine healing. What choices would you make to protect your family, even from itself?